Hi guys, Craig Atkins here. Welcome to another weekend outdoors. Today we're going to do something a little different, and we are going to mount this trolling motor bracket to my Old Town Predator PDL. You know, I've been thinking about having power on my kayak for a long time. There's a lot of places I pedal 25-30 minutes to get to my fishing hole, and you know, by the time I'm done fishing at the end of the day, I have a 25-30 minute pedal back, and I'm like wore out. And I think, yeah, you know, having a trolling motor would be awesome on my kayak to get me. Not only do I lose an hour of fishing time that day pedaling back and forth, but this will cut that time in half, and you know, and save my legs too. So anyway, we're going to mount this on my kayak today and see how it works out. This bracket is actually made by Old Town. I bought it from austinkayak.com for $149.99, and it was free shipping. So let's get it mounted. It mounts on the plates in the back well of my kayak. So it should just bolt on there. It should only take a minute or two to bolt this thing on and see what happens. Solid. Believe it or not, that's installed. Alright, now I've got a Minn Kota Endura 50-pound thrust trolling motor over here. I'm going to mount that on, and I've got a battery here, and it's just a marine battery we're going to put in it. Alright, now she's mounted, and I'm going to hook this up to the battery. I can already tell that that motor is very heavy, and my kayak's already leaning to this side. Got the battery as far over to the opposite side as I can get it. I don't have anything there to keep it there, I don't think, but let's see what we can come up with. And I think we're ready to give her a try. That's all there is to it. Easy peasy. Alright, we're going to mount the camera on the boat and give her a shot. Alright, so to begin our test, I'm going to drop the motor down. I'm going to raise my PDL, and we'll see what kind of speed and what kind of, how easy it is to do this. We've got a telescopic handle on it, so that's comfortable. That's close. I could, my thinking is that I would use my rudder to steer with and not mess with the trolling motor. Try to keep myself centered here in the kayak and see what happens. Oh, that's reverse. Here we go. miles an hour, 2.4. And I'm in calm water right now. We're going to get into the wind here, and then I'll have the wind behind me, and then we'll I just kicked it in the 4-speed, and then we'll have the wind behind me and wind with me, and we'll see what kind of spin or what kind of speed we get out of this. Right now I'm 2.5 miles an hour with it in 4-speed. I've got one more speed here. Oh. All right, now we're at 4 miles an hour, 4.1. I'm steering with the rudder, and it's putting a lot of tension on the steering device here. I'm going with the wind or across the wind right now. I'm at 4.1 mile an hour, 4.2. The battery's fully charged. Now, I don't have my crate in the boat, but with the trolling motor and the battery, I'm looking at probably another 75-80 pounds of weight in the boat that I usually don't have. Maybe 20 pounds worth of tackle and a crate and fishing poles, maybe, so maybe I've got 60-70 pounds of extra weight in the boat. 4.2 mile an hour. We're cooking right along. Again, this is a Minn Kota Endura 50-pound thrust, 5-speed motor. And I'm just using a regular marine battery, not a lithium battery. Because what I want it for is mainly to get me from place to place, fishing hole to fishing hole, just for transportation. Ideally, I think the motor would be better mounted on the back and keep my pedal drive, so I can use it to fish with, be it trolling or casting the shoreline, because I've got great control with the foot pedals, and I'd much rather have the foot pedals than a trolling motor while I'm fishing. But to use the motor for transportation like you would an outboard on a regular boat to get from fishing hole to fishing hole, I think ideally that motor should be on the back of the boat. But this is a very inexpensive and quick solution. Okay, I'm going to turn around now. I do have my drive in. I haven't taken it out yet. We'll take another spin and see what it's like with the drive out. But we'll see what kind of mileage or speed we get out of this against the wind. Again, I'm still steering with the rudder. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm doing 4 miles an hour against the wind. Heck yeah. And that wind's cooking. We have a 15 mile an hour wind right now. We are going 4 miles an hour. Consistent and staying right on 4 against the wind. So I'm only losing 0.1, 0.2 mile an hour running again with the wind than I am going against it. I don't feel any tension on my foot pedals at all. I know if I take my feet off the pedals, they're just going to start spinning. You can do that and see what happens. Dang, I'm going faster. I'm going 4.1 mile an hour. 4.2. Wow. 4.3. Are you kidding me? I'm getting down here. I'm getting into a protected area, so it's not Still 4.1, 4.2, bouncing back and forth against the wind. There's not much wind back in here. Okay, I'm going to spin around. We're going to take the drive out and see if that increases our speed. I'm not going to take it out, I'm just going to raise it up out of the water and see if that less drag will give me another 0.1, 0.2 mile an hour. All done with the rudder. I'm going to lift that drive up and see what it does. Difference with the drive in or the drive out, other than the water gurgling here in the bottom of my boat and splashing up into my kayak, which is okay because I need to clean the water out of it, or the dirt out of it anyway with the water. All right, I'm at 4.4. Oh, look at me, 4.3, 4.3. Hit 4.4 every now and then. We get down here and get into the wind a little bit with the wind in my back. I might, who knows, I might hit and sustain 4.4. There I'm at 4.4. Do we see 4.5 with the wind? Come on, you can do it. 4.5 mile an hour. So that's with the drive out and going with the wind. And like I said, I have 15 mile an hour wind today. So this is a pretty good test. You know, this isn't a very expensive option for mounting a trolling motor to a Old Town Predator kayak. $150 for the brace that is made by Old Town for the kayak, and that was with free shipping from austinkayak.com, and the motor is about $250, so you're looking at $400 and you have a trolling motor on your kayak. One of the downsides I see to it, I'm in shallow water here, I hope you don't hit that. One of the downsides I see to this is that this hanging over the side of the boat can you know, kind of make you a little off balance. So if the motor was mounted on the front or the back of the kayak and it was centered, and so was the battery, it'd be a much better situation. But if you happen to lean too far to this side, I could see tipping this thing. As long as I sit here in the center, I've got the battery all the way over to the side here, kind of counterbalancing this trolling motor some. As long as I do that and keep it there, you know, I feel pretty comfortable right now, and I think I can live with this. But I don't know if this is the answer for me to my solution of keeping my pedal drive and and also having an electric motor option to get me from fishing hole to fishing hole, but it is an option, and it's an inexpensive option. So, you know, it's something to think about. And if you guys have any questions or want me to try anything while I have all this stuff, and it's all mine, so I can put it on anytime, just leave me a comment and let me know, and you know, we'll try it. So right now I'm going to try this. I'm going to stop it, shut the motor off, and I'm going to put the drive in. I'm going to pedal it with this motor on it and see, you know, if this adds any drag or discomfort in my fishing. I'm already feel like I'm leaning this way to try to, you know, right the kayak. So that's what I was saying about, you know, if I was fishing and, you know, off this side and the motor, I've got all this weight pulling me this way. I can see that maybe being an issue if you're not aware of where you're at in the kayak. I can see, you know, somebody leaning too far this way and away you go. Don't want that to happen. So let me see what I can do. Earlier I was doing 3.5 miles an hour consistently in the kayak, and I was doing 3.5 mile an hour with the kayak and you know, just pedaling. But I can already tell I don't think I'm going to be able to do that and sustain it because of the extra weight I have in here. I can feel the extra weight in the kayak, and I'm completely aware that there's way more weight in here than what I usually have in my kayak. So you know, I don't know. Daggone. So if I was trolling 2 miles an hour, and we'll try doing that. Right now I'm doing 2.8 mile an hour, and I'm feeling it. I'm having to put some leg into these pedals to get there, where normally it's pretty easy. And again, it's all due to the extra weight. And I don't have my fishing tackle or my fishing poles in here either. And I thought if I use this outfit, and I would only bring minimum stuff with me, you know, I think that would be a must. A few tackle boxes, you know, and you know, a couple fishing rods, and that'd be it. I wouldn't bring my crate, and you know, and I'd keep it as light as possible because of this extra weight I've got going on here. So the best I can maintain at a comfortable speed, just going from fishing hole to fishing hole with the PDL, is about 2.8 miles an hour. And I'm feeling, you know, I'm having to put some effort into it to maintain 2.8 mile an hour. So that's something to think about. So while I was on the water, I decided to take the kayak for a spin and use the trolling motor to steer with instead of the rudder. And I found that this wasn't a really good idea. It made the kayak kind of tipsy, and in fact when I pull up to the dock and back out and take off again, you can see that, you know, I tip the kayak a little bit and it gets a little spooky. But you know, ideally the trolling motor needs to be on the nose of the boat or on the back of the boat, and unfortunately I just don't see a way of mounting that on an Old Town Predator PDL without you know, taking off my rudder, which I don't want to get rid of, or you know, building some ungodly contraption on the nose of the boat and drilling a whole bunch of holes in my kayak that I really don't want to do. You know, I just don't see it happening. So I may end up having to switch kayaks if I want to add a trolling motor to my boat, or use this outfit that I have here. So, you know, maybe I have to switch to like a Vibe shearwater where there's mounts for the nose of the boat and the rear of the boat, or maybe a Titan or a Hobie. So if you guys have any thoughts, ideas, solutions, hey, I'm all ears. Put them down there in a comment, let me know. And until the next time, guys, thanks for watching.